Ever felt like your notes are completely useless? I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but when's the last time you actually used your notes? Not just looked at them the night before in a panic before the big exam and tried to use them to study, but when was the last time you actually used your notes and were they helpful? I know what you're thinking. You're supposed to sit there and take lots of notes, write everything down, and that's being a good student, but that's not actually learning. That's being a recorder. That's transcribing the lesson. That's not getting your brain into thinking mode. That's not helping you to learn what you need to learn. It's actually just getting you to write everything down. That's not productive. It's not helpful. There is a better way to do it. And this is the way we're looking at doing things moving forward. If you want to be innovative and learn, you've got to turn those notes from something that you do into something that actually is teaching you. And we've got a system that's going to help you. It's really simple. It's the RAW method. Okay, it starts with R. And just like taking notes, which I'm sure you're used to doing, we want to record what is happening in class. We want to record what we are reading and what we're learning, but we don't want to just write everything down because that's pointless. As we said, that's transcribing. What you want to do is you want to record the main idea, the big idea. You don't want to write down everything. Things you're going to remember, you're going to remember them. You don't need to write it down. Okay, but you need to make sure that your notes are making sense, they're clear, and they've got something that you can follow when you need to study. So the idea that we've got with the record is to take note of the big main concept. But if you can, write it as a question. That's going to get your brain to recall things better. It's going to get your brain thinking actively as you use your notes, as you go through. Instead of photosynthesis is, you might start with the question, how does photosynthesis convert lights to energy? That automatically gets your brain to think of the big question that you need to know as you go. You've got to record key details as well. But like I said, writing 50 pages of stuff is never gonna stick. You want 3 to 5 facts that you can remember and make sure those are the key details that you're going to struggle to remember. And you want to record those questions that you have to follow up on, the things that you're confused about. If you know it, what's the point in writing it down? And if you're going to remember it easily, what's the point of writing it down? Your notes are there to fill your gaps. So in your notes, put the question mark and put the idea that you need to follow up on. Make sure that's clearly there. All right, as we move on, the next bit is where it really starts to come together. We're looking at the A. The A is where we want to activate, and we want to make sure those notes are not just a record of everything that you know or everything you need to know, but they are a record of your thinking. Okay, so the A is where we're going to activate, and we're going to use action words. We're going to put the remember. What do I need to remember? When you're looking through your notes, you're going to tell yourself, remember. You need to remember the key dates in history. You need to remember the quotations, and you can jot those down as remember. They were on page whatever. All the action, practice this or that activity so that you can get into the rhythm of using those skills. So make sure that those notes are recording the key ideas. They've got the actions that you need to do, the action of remember these things that I'm likely to forget, practice these things I need to get better at, look up the answer to the questions you don't already know, ask the teacher what you need to find out, to have full understanding. So that's R, that's A. And finally, the W, you want to take those notes from just being a mountain of information and turn them into a weapon that you can use as you get ready to take on those tests and exams. So take those notes once you've recorded, once you've put down the actions that you need to do to make them work, then weaponize by turning them into the tests, quizzes, the questions, the flashcards, and all the things that you can actively learn with that you're going to use. So maybe once you've done your note taking, you take a little bit of time to let it sink in, And then you jot down, these are the 20 questions that I'm going to use to test myself. Here are my flashcards to remember the vocabulary I need to know. Here are the things that I'm going to practice with when I do my active recall and when I do my 222 method. If you don't know what they are, you can look them up on my other videos. Hopefully that is helping you with your note taking. Make your note taking an active process. Make it something that's going to help you to learn, not just an activity that fills pages and that doesn't actually do anything for you. Okay? This is an innovative learning activity that hopefully is going to help you on your next round of tests and exams and help you learn in life.